Interruption.
In which verse of Romans chapter 15? That I should be the minister of Jesus Christ to the Gentiles, minister of the gospel of God, that the offering of the Gentiles might be acceptable, being sanctified by the Holy Ghost. Verse 16.
That is correct. Question 14 is a four-part question worth 20 points. Question: what were written for our learning that...
Yellow, 3. Interruption.
What were written for our learning that we, through what might have what, according to which verse of Romans chapter 15, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
That is correct. Question 15 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question: according to two consecutive verses of Romans chapter 4, it was not written...
Red, 1. Interruption.
It was not written. Why? But why? It was not written for his sake alone that it was imputed to him, but for us also, to whom it shall be imputed, if we believe on him that raised up Jesus our Lord from the dead.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Western without interruption. Question: according to two consecutive verses of Romans chapter 4, it was not written for what, but for whom?
Yellow, 2.
It was not written for his sake alone that it was imputed to him, but for us also, to whom it shall be imputed, if we believe on him the words of Jesus our Lord from the dead.
That is correct. Time out for Virginia. Question 16. Question 16 is a quotation completion question worth 20 points. Question: I think...
Yellow, 2. Interruption.
I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord, so then with the mind I myself serve the law of God, but with the flesh the law of sin.
That is correct. Time out for Western.
Expression as recorded in which verse of study? But if our unrighteousness commanded the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unrighteous to get vengeance? Romans chapter 3, verse 5.
That is correct. Question 18 is a 5-part question worth 30 points question, as recorded in verses 3 and 4 of Romans chapter 8, in that what was weak through what, God sent whom for what, and why.
Red, 1.
For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh but after the Spirit.
That is correct. Time out for Western. For question 19. Question 19 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question, justification. Quote the verses of study that end with this word.
Red, 1.
And not as it was by one that sinned, so is the gift, for the judgment was by one to condemnation, but the free gift is so many offenses unto justification.
Tie.
That is incorrect. And question 20 is a 2-part question worth 30 points. Question, as found in 3 consecutive verses of Romans chapter 4, David describeth what, saying what?
Red, 1.
David describeth the blessedness of the man unto whom God imputeth righteousness without works, saying, Blessed are they whose iniquities are forgiven and whose sins are covered.
That is incorrect. Incorrect. And that closes the quiz. This quiz is closed. Let's give the 2 teams a hand, Virginia and Western. All right, we will have results and ribbons in just a moment, but let me go ahead and invite to be setting up Texas 1 on the red and Arkansas 1 on the yellow. Texas red, Arkansas yellow. We do have 7 games scheduled this morning, so that'll wrap up round 1, and we will not go into round 2 until after the devotion. For any that came in after we opened at 9, they are live streaming, I think is the term these millennials use, at seniorBibleQuizzing.com. So if anyone back home or off-site wants to watch along, you can see that at seniorBibleQuizzing.com. I don't think they're panning the audio, so you're okay. It's just a quizzing. Oh, I'm sorry, let me come. That is correct. Question 3 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question, what then? What question and what answer follow these words as recorded in verse 15 of Romans chapter 6?
Red 3.
Shall we sin because we are not under law upon the grace? God forbid.
That is correct. That is correct. Question 4 is worth 10 points. Question, reconciling of the world. Locate this phrase.
Red 3.
Romans chapter 11, verse 15.
That is correct. Question 5 is worth 10 points. Question, by nature the olive tree is what?
Red 1.
Wild.
That is correct. Question 6 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question, which verse of study states that who are not a terror to good works?
Red 1.
Interruption.
But to what?
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Arkansas without interruption. Question, which verse of study states that who are not a terror to good works, but to the evil?
Yellow 1.
Romans chapter 13, verse 4, rulers.
Tie.
That is incorrect. Question 7 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question, how many men are named in verse 13 of Romans chapter 9, and who are they?
Red 1.
Jacob, Esau, 2.
That is correct. Question 8 is worth 10 points. Question, in the sight of all men, do what according to Romans chapter?
Red 1.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Provide things honest.
That is correct. Yes, sir. All right, now our 20 pointers. Question 9 is worth 20 points. Question, as found in a verse of Romans chapter 14, when do you not walk charitably?
Yellow 1.
Interruption. Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be reread for Texas without interruption. Question, as found in a verse of Romans chapter 14, when do you not walk charitably?
Red 3.
If thy brother be grieved with thy meat, destroy not what thy meat from Christ's side.
That is correct. Come out for Arkansas. Thank you very much. What is it? You heard me ask, what is it? Oh, what a way to go, right? NABQT. The quizzing might get more interesting as we go along.
Tie.
time in and time forward. Question 10. It is a cross-reference two-part question worth 20 points. Question: the word ordain is recorded in which verse of Romans chapter 13 and in which verse of Romans chapter 7?
Red, 3.
7 verse 10.
Time.
That is incorrect. Question 11 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question: verse 2 of Romans chapter 5 says that by our Lord Jesus Christ we have what and...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
And rejoice in what? By whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand, and rejoice in hope of the glory of God.
That is correct. Question 12 is a three-part question worth 20 points. Question: according to which verse of study, whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through what might...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Might have what? That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
That is correct. Question 13 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question: the work of God.
Red, 1.
Interruption.
This verse is contained in some verses study both verses.
Time.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be read for Arkansas without interruption. Question: the work of God. Quote the verse that contains these words.
Yellow, 1.
For me, destroy not the work of God. All things indeed are pure, but it is evil for that man who eateth with his hands.
That is correct. Question 14 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question: what shall happen shortly according to which verse?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Of Romans chapter 16, verse 20. The God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly.
Time.
I didn't catch that earlier. That is correct. Now question 15 is a three-part question worth 20 points. Question: Paul said he was persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye are full of what? Filled.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Filled with what? And able to do what? And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye also are filled with all knowledge.
Tied.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted three-part question will be reread for Texas without interruption. Question. Paul said he was persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye are full of what, filled with what, and able to do what, according to Romans chapter 15, verse 14.
Red, 3.
Full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another.
That is correct. Question 16 is a three-part question worth 20 points. Question. Man does what with the heart and with the mouth according
Red, 3.
Interruption.
And with the mouth. According to which verse? Romans chapter 10. With the heart man believeth unto righteousness, with the mouth confession unto salvation. Romans chapter 10, verse 10.
That is correct. Question 17 is worth 20 points. Question. Paul was sure of what according
Red, 1.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter 15, verse 29, that when I come unto you, I shall come in the fullness of the blessing of the gospel of Christ.
to? That is correct. Time out for Arkansas. I've watched this recently. It's not. I just find a lead up where it would be. Fuck on back. Got it covered. I was thinking this morning, I hadn't seen you guys in action. I didn't look ahead of the picture. Come through that bottom.
Tied.
All right, time in for the 30-pointers. Question 18 is a quotation question worth 30 points. Question. The redemption of our...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption. Tied.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be reread for Texas without interruption. Question. The redemption of our body. Quote the verse that records these words.
Red, 1.
And not only they, but ourselves also, which are the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves, grown within ourselves, waiting for the redemption.
That is incorrect. Time out for Texas. Oh, last night. 40 points. 40 points. We're proud of you no matter what. I had heard. I heard your father came in. You sleeping? Sleeping? Eating. One or the other, right?
Tied.
Are you ready to write the book on marriage, Tony? Almost. I want a copy when you're finished. All right, time in and time for question 19. It's a cross-reference three-part question worth 30 points. Question. Who shall be saved according to Romans chapter 9, verse 27? Who shall be saved according to Romans chapter 10, verse 13? And who shall be saved according to Romans chapter 11, verse 26?
Yellow, 1.
Israel? Whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord?
Tied.
That is incorrect. Okay. Time out for Texas.
Tied.
All right, time in for question 20. Question 20 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question: the word jealousy is found in 2 verses of study. Quote these verses.
Tied.
And this quiz is closed. Give Texas and Arkansas a hand together, please. And we will see about the score in just a moment. In the meanwhile, from the session B in this general session, we can invite Illinois 2 to the red and Tennessee 1 to the yellow. They're welcome to be setting up. Illinois 2 red, Tennessee 1 yellow, and we'll get the scores here in just a moment. All right, here we go. We have the results. The team scores first. The Arkansas team with 45. The winner, Texas, won with 105 points. Congratulations, Texas. And then for second high score, we actually have a tie, each with 25 points for Lydia and Elijah. Let's give these scores a hand. And high score is Isaiah with 70 points. Isaiah. Negotiations. Oh, I thought so. This is Illinois. Gentlemen. Okay. Yeah, he'll get you one, I'm sure. All right, gentlemen. Even the coaches are gentlemen. This is nice. Elijah, congratulations on that. You were deep in conversation, but we did cheer for you. I'll mention one more time, just in case others have sneaked in, as it were, seniorbibleknowledge.com. They're doing this live streaming for us, so hopefully it's obvious once you get on that website which banner to click or whatever they say. All right, congratulations, Illinois 2, Tennessee 1. You have the names of everybody? Okay. So you got to get your names here. Oh, welcome.
Oh my God.
Got it? Okay. All right, we are good to go. This quiz is open. Question 1 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question: who are not just...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Who are not just before God, and who shall be justified as recorded in Romans chapter 2? For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be read for Illinois without interruption. Question: who are not just before whom, according to verse 13 of Romans chapter 2?
Red, 2.
Hearers of the law before God.
That is correct. Question 2 is worth 10 points. Question: the creature was made subject...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
The creature was made subject to what, as recorded in Romans chapter 8? Vanity.
That is incorrect. And this interrupted 10-point question will be read for Illinois without interruption. Question: the creature was made subject to vanity by reason of whom?
Red, 2.
By reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope.
That is correct. Question 3 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question: the same verse that refers to being fervent in spirit.
Red, 2.
Interruption.
Also says to do how many other things, what are they? Not slothful in business. Serving the Lord, there are two.
That is correct. Question 4 is a quotation question worth 10 points. Question: quote the verse that mentions a table.
Yellow, 1.
And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them.
That is correct. Question 5 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question: in verse 13 of Romans chapter 9, what is said about Jacob?
Red, 2.
Interruption.
And what is said about Esau? Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated.
That is correct. Question 6 is worth 10 points. Question: what man is blessed according...
Red, 2.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter 4, verse 8. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord will not keep sin.
That is correct. Question 7 is worth 10 points. Question: how was Paul described in verse 16 of Romans chapter 15?
Red, 2.
The minister of Jesus Christ to the Gentiles, ministering the gospel of God. I thought filling up of the Gentiles might be acceptable, being sanctified by the Holy Ghost.
That is correct. Question 8 is worth 10 points. Question: what two questions are found in verse 14 of Romans chapter 9?
Yellow, 2.
Is there a righteousness of God, God forbid?
That is incorrect. Question 9 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question: as found in the verse that concludes with the words, as it is written.
Red, 1.
Interruption.
What is written, and what is this verse? For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you. 2 verse 24.
That is correct. Question 10 is a three-part question worth 20 points. Question: in times past,
Red, 1.
Interruption.
In times past, ye have not done what, but now have done what, as recorded in which verse of our study? Because ye in times past had not believed God, yet have now obtained mercy through their unbelief. 11 verse 30.
That is correct. Question 11 is worth 20 points. Question: what is said concerning God?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
What is said concerning God in Romans chapter 1 verse 24? Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness to the lust of their own hearts, reconciling their own bodies between themselves.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be reread for Tennessee without interruption. Question: what is said concerning God in verse 3 of Romans chapter 8?
Yellow, 1.
God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh.
That is correct. Question 12 is a quotation completion question worth 20 points. Question: but now.
Red, 1.
Interruption.
But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation completion question will be reread for Tennessee without interruption. Question: but now is made manifest.
Yellow, 1.
And by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith.
That is correct. Question 13 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question: in whom shall who trust?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
In whom shall who trust? As according to Romans chapter 15, verse 12. There shall be a seed of Jesse, he that shall rise to reign over the Gentiles, and him shall the Gentiles trust.
That is correct. Contest by Illinois.
Tie.
This contest is denied. And now ready for question 14. Question 14 is worth 20 points. Question: Paul said to walk how?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
To walk how? As you put in which verse of Romans chapter 13? Walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. Romans chapter 13, verse 13.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be reread for Illinois without interruption. Question. Paul said to walk how, as recorded in verse 13 of Romans chapter 13.
Red, 1.
Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in writing and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy.
That is correct.
Test, please.
Contest by Tennessee. This contest is withdrawn. Now question 15 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question. For none of us live.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
For none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. Quote the verse preceding this one. He that regardeth the day regardeth the end to the Lord, and he that regardeth not the day to the Lord, neither count it ready. He that eateth, eateth to the Lord, giveth not thanks, and he that eateth not to the Lord, eateth not, and giveth God thanks.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be reread for Illinois without interruption. Question. For none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. Quote the verse following this one.
Red, 1.
For whether we live unto the Lord, and whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live therefore or die, we are the Lord's.
That is correct. Time out for Illinois. Is it muted? It's not muted. Pardon? Just as long as I'm not embarrassing myself. Please mute it if I do. I can't change my habits now after all these years. I can't change now after all these years. I'm not turning my back on you purposely. I'm avoiding the scoreboard. You got it?
Tie.
I didn't even notice, so thank you. All right, time in and time for. Gifts for 1 moment. Oh, you clearing it out? You can go. We're clearing out the recorder. Give us just a moment, please. Brother Huffman is a computer programmer. He's a software designer. He is. What else do you do? He works for Intel. I love it. Brother Brian, do they have those at Intel? Like 2 decades ago, right? I missed the cassette. So, just play me for Thank you, appreciate it. Good job. I'll be interested to know. Oh, sure. Why is this on? Is that right? You can cut your hand over it. Oh, but you can still cuff your hand. That's exactly what it's. Oh, okay. Oh, all good? All right. I better get busy then. All set?
Time out, please.
Timeout for Tennessee. Forgive my lame humor there. Working for India. They had those 2 decades ago, right? Those devices. You're used to the experience where they record on the laptop, right? What is that, a program? I've never looked into it. Just a software, I mean, like an app for... Oh, okay. So you just press play and record, much like only oh, and then find it easily?
Time.
Follow that. Oh, okay. All right, time in for question 16. It is a 3-part question worth 20 points. Question: for what reason were what things written as found?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
As found in which verse? Romans chapter 15. Whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
That is correct. Contest by Illinois.
Time.
Contest is withdrawn. And now question 17. It is worth 20 points. Question: concerning mercy versus...
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Verses 30, 31, and 32 of Romans chapter 11 record what? For as in times past had not believed God, yet have not obtained mercy through their unbelief, even so have these also now not believed. That through your mercy they also may obtain mercy. For God hath converted them all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be reread for Tennessee without interruption. Question: concerning mercy, verses 15 and 16 of Romans chapter 9 record what?
Yellow, 1.
For he saith, Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
That is correct. Question 18 is a two-part question worth 30 points. Question. Verse 12 of Romans chapter 10 ends with what two?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Ends with what two-word phrase that is also contained in which other verse of our study? But there is no difference.
Time.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Tennessee without interruption. Question. Verse 12 of Romans chapter 10 ends with what two words that are found in which other verse of study?
Yellow, 1.
Upon him. Romans chapter
Time.
That is incorrect. Contest by Tennessee.
Time.
This contest is granted. We're going to avoid and replace that question. Give you just a quick moment to find the replacement. Yes, timeout for Tennessee.
Tied.
All right, chime in. This is replacement question 18. It is a 4-part question worth 30 points. Question: as found in which verse of study that ye may prove what?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
That ye may prove what? Which is what? I beseech you. By whom? 12 verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is Jesus
Tied.
Christ.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 4-part question will be read for Illinois without interruption. Question: as found in which verse of study that ye may prove what, be not conformed to what, but be ye transformed by what?
Red, 1.
That he may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed with the renewing of your mind. 12 verse 2.
That is correct.
Contest, please.
Contest by Tennessee.
Tied.
This contest is denied. A timeout for Illinois. Thank you. You guys need a break after this? How you feeling? All good? I'm not. What's that? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot too. I apologize. Yeah, me too. I'm usually late. Excuse me. Yeah.
Tied.
All right, chime in for question 19. It is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question: quote the 3 consecutive verses that contain the word imputed.
Red, 1.
And therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness. Now it was not written for his sake alone that it was imputed to him, but for us also, to whom it shall be imputed, if we believe on him that raised up Jesus our Lord from the dead.
That is correct. And question 20 is a cross-reference question worth 30 points. Question: twice the word wrath is contained in 2 verses of study. Locate these verses.
Tie.
This quiz is closed. Please give Illinois and Tennessee a hand together. And we will officially observe the outcome in just a moment from this quiz. And meanwhile, I can invite Illinois 1 to the red this time, and Wisconsin 1 to the yellow. They can be setting up. We'll get the results here in a moment. Illinois 1 on the red, Wisconsin 1 on the yellow.
Which side did you call us to, Reverend?
Red.
The red, thank you, sir.
I've got it. Oh, Shayla made it.
Yeah.
Took off work and everything, huh? Took off work and everything.
Did.
Now you gotta go back. So you're gonna miss the final. Oh, after the vote. All right, we have a silver medal ceremony from this last quiz, and the results of the game itself: 70 points for Tennessee. The winner was Illinois 2 with 180. So congratulations to Illinois 2. They'll move ahead. Our second high score, we've got, as I say, a silver medal ceremony. But first, the second high scorer with 65 points is Anthony. Congratulations to Anthony. And then our high score, winning the silver medal with 110 points is Sherwin. Mr. Sherwin.
Grayson Joshua Luce. Riley.
All right. Looks like we have lady and gentleman. Congratulations to Illinois 1 and Wisconsin 1 coming out of session B for the general session. And our goal is to have 4 more quizzes for the lunch break. That'll wrap up round 1. And this quiz is open. Question 1 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: which verse of Romans chapter 9 refers to what Old Testament?
Red 3.
Interruption.
Which Old Testament geographical locations? Sodom and Gomorrah in chapter 9, verse 29.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 2-part question will be reread for Wisconsin without interruption. Question: which verse of Romans chapter 9 refers to what Old Testament individual being hated?
Yellow 1.
Esau. Verse 13.
That is correct. Question 2 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: the promise that Abraham should be the heir of the world was not through what?
Red 1.
Interruption.
Was not through what, but through what? Not through the law, but through the righteousness of faith.
That is correct. Question 3 is worth 10 points. Question: the word amen
Red 3.
Interruption.
And which verse of Romans chapter 15, verse 33?
That is incorrect. This interrupted 10-point question will be read for Wisconsin without interruption. Question: the word amen ends which verse of Romans chapter 1?
Yellow 2.
Romans chapter 1, verse 25.
That is correct. Question 4 is worth 10 points. Question: how dost thou condemn thyself according?
Red 3.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter 2, verse 1, wherein the judge is another.
That is correct. Question 5 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: Jesus Christ was declared to be the Son of God.
Red 3.
Interruption.
The Son of God, according to what, by what is found in Romans chapter 1, verse 4, according to the Spirit of holiness by the resurrection from the dead.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 2-part question will be read for Wisconsin without interruption. Question: Jesus Christ was declared to be the Son of God with what according to what?
Yellow 1.
With power according to the Spirit of holiness.
That is correct. Question 6 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: be not what, but do what according?
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter 12, verse 2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 2-part question will be read for Illinois without interruption. Question: be not what, but do what according to Romans chapter 12, verse 21.
Red 3.
Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
That is correct. Question 7 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: we conclude that a man is justified by what?
Red 1.
Interruption.
By what, without what, is found in Romans chapter 3, verse 28. Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law.
That is correct. Question 8 is a quotation question worth 10 points. Question: quote the verse of Romans chapter 3 that ends in the body part eyes.
Red 1.
There is no fear of God before their eyes.
That is correct. Question 9 is a cross-reference, two-part question worth 20 points question. The word love is contained in what three?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
What three consecutive verses of Romans chapter 13? Verses 8, 9, and 10?
That is correct. Question 10 is worth 20 points question. Paul said he would not have the brethren ignorant of what?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Of what is found in Romans chapter 1, verse 13? That oftentimes I purpose to come unto you, but was led hitherto, that I might have some fruit among you also, even as among other Gentiles.
That is correct. Question 11 is a three-part question worth 20 points question. It's found in two consecutive verses of Romans chapter 15, that ye may be what? The God of what?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
The God of what makes you be what? Now the God of patience and consolation brings you to be like-minded one toward another according to Christ Jesus, that ye may with one mind and one mouth glorify God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Time.
That is correct. Now question 12 is worth 20 points question. What was stated concerning Moses?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Concerning Moses, in Romans chapter 10, verse 19, first Moses saith, I will provoke you to jealousy through the literal people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be read for Wisconsin without interruption question. What was stated concerning Moses in Romans chapter 10, verse 5?
Yellow, 2.
For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them.
That is correct.
Time out, please, Brother Reader.
Time out for Illinois.
Tie.
Time in for question 13. Question 13 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question: Sarah is named.
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Sarah is named in a single verse of Romans chapter 9. Quote this verse. For this is the word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Now that is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be reread for Wisconsin without interruption. Question: Sarah is named in a verse of Romans chapter 4. Quote this verse.
Yellow, 2.
And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead, when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadest of sin.
Tie.
That is correct. Contest by Illinois.
I'm sorry.
Tie.
after considering the contest listing, this contest is granted and a ruling reverse to on yellow 2, I should say, which was the reread. So reversed ruling to incorrect yellow 2 on the reread, and we move on to question 14. Question 14 is worth 20 points. Question: with the heart and with the mouth.
Red, 3.
Interruption.
With the heart and with the mouth, man does what is found in Romans 10 verse 10. With the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
That is correct. Question 15 is a 4-part question worth 20 points. Question: who saith, let what be made how many things?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Be made how many things, and what are they? David saith, at the table we made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. There are 4.
Tie.
That is correct. Now question 16 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question: quote the question recorded in verse 16 of Romans chapter 6.
Red, 1.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness?
That is correct. Question 17 is a 2-part question worth 20 points. Question: as found in the same verse, the lump is wholly
Red, 3.
Interruption.
The lump is holy. Under what condition? And the branches are holy under what condition? If the first group be holy, the lump is also holy, and if the group be holy, so are the branches.
That is correct.
Oh.
Luke, that's your 8th correct question. And time out for Eleanor. Congratulations, Luke. Time out, Eleanor.
So, let's go 11, 11:30, 12. 2 hours. 3 quizzes.
Tie.
All right, time in for 30-point questions. Question 18 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question: a verse of Romans chapter 6 and a verse of Romans chapter 11 each conclude with the word grace. Quote these verses.
Tie.
Question 19 is a quotation question worth 30 points. Question, as becometh saints, quote the verse that contains this phrase.
Yellow 2.
Tie.
That is incorrect. And question 20 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question, Israel, 2 consecutive verses of study contain this word. Quote these verses.
Tie.
And this quiz is closed. Please give Illinois and Wisconsin a hand together. We will see about the score in just a moment. But as we're waiting to get that information, Western 1 will be on the red for the next quiz, and Texas 1, you'll come back, but this time to the yellow. Western 1 red, Texas 1 yellow. we have all the information we need. Okay. They went to Bible school? Over. Very good. All right, congratulations. We have ladies and gentlemen. Western and Texas. Yes. Oh, okay. I guess do mine too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah! Oh, man. I'll do it this way. Nobody carries a handkerchief to me anymore. That's a good point. Now everything that was on there is on mine. Oh, that's right. Now I feel better. All right. All right. That was Brother Jeff Billingsley of Florida, everyone. All right. I think we're ready to go. Now I'm getting ready to cough. I'm kidding. All right. You have all the information, the names you need? All right. Very good. With everybody in place, this quiz is open. Question 1 is worth 10 points. Question: Paul said he was debtor to whom?
Yellow, 1.
Both to the Greeks. Greeks and barbarians, the wise and the unwise.
That is correct. Question 2 is worth 10 points. Question: what question follows the words God forbid?
Red, 2.
Interruption.
God forbid in Romans chapter 6, verse 2. Also we that are dead to sin, living any longer therein.
That is correct. Question 3 is worth 10 points. Question: what is far spent?
Red, 1.
What is far spent as quoted in Romans chapter 13, verse 12, the night?
That is correct.
Red, 2.
Sorry for that little delay and my quick ruling, but I'm going to reverse that. That is incorrect on red 1. Incorrect for question 3. And now, question 4 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: who is even where?
Red 3.
Interruption.
Who is even where, according to Romans chapter?
Tie.
It is incorrect. This interrupted 2-part question will be read for Texas without interruption. Question: who is even where, according to verse 34 of Romans chapter 8?
Yellow 3.
Jesus Christ that died, yea rather that is risen again, who is seen at the right hand of God, who also made intercession for us.
That is correct. Question 5 is worth 10 points. Question: David saith what about?
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
David said what about? Then as recorded in Romans chapter 11, verses 9 and 10. Let the table be made of snare and a trap and a stone block and recompense unto them, let their eyes be darkened and they may not see, and let the God away.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 10-point question will be reread for Western without interruption. Question: David saith, what about their eyes, according to verse 10 of Romans chapter 11?
Red 1.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see.
That is correct. Question 6 is worth 10 points. Question: what are ordained?
Red 1.
Interruption.
What are ordained of God, is quoted in Romans chapter 13, verse 1. The powers that be.
That is correct. Question 7 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: what shall we say if what commend what?
Yellow 3.
Interruption.
As found in Romans chapter 3 verse 5, of our righteousness commending righteousness of God.
That is correct. Question 8 is a quotation completion question worth 10 points. Question: know ye?
Red 2.
Interruption.
Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death?
That is correct. Question 9 is a 3-part question worth 20 points. Question: in the verse that contains the words, nor any other creature, what words precede these words?
Yellow 3.
Interruption.
What words follow these words? What is this verse?
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 3-part question will be reread for Western without interruption. Question: in the verse that contains the words, nor any other creature, what words precede these words? What words follow these words? And what is this verse?
Red 2.
Nor height, nor depth shall be able to separate us from the love of God which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Romans chapter 8, verse 39.
That is correct. We have a contest by Texas. 60 seconds to confirm.
67-60.
This contest is withdrawn. Question, excuse me. Question 10 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, walk how under what?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Walk how, under what condition, as found in Romans chapter. Verse 4.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Texas without interruption. Question, walk how, under what condition, as found in verse 15 of Romans chapter 14.
Yellow, 3.
Now walk us not charitably, if thy brother be grieved with thy meat.
That is correct.
Contest, please.
Contest by Western.
Tie.
All right, this contest is granted, and on its basis, we will void and replace number 10. So give me a quick moment to find that replacement. All right, this is replacement question 10. It is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, in the verse of study that twice contains the word estimeth, what is said?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
what is said about esteeming and what is first. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Romans chapter 14, verse 5.
That is correct. Question 11 is a cross-reference two-part question, worth 20 points question. As recorded in Romans chapter 7, which verse describes the law as holy?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Which verse describes the law as holy? And which verse describes the law as spiritual? Verse 12. Verse 14.
That is correct. Question 12 is a quotation completion question, worth 20 points question. Who against?
Red, 2.
Interruption.
Who against hope believed in hope that he might become the father of many nations, according to that which was spoken, so shall they be.
That is correct. Contest by Texas. This contest is withdrawn. Now question 13 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question verses 8 and 9 of Romans chapter 9 record what about the children?
Red, 3.
Interruption.
What about the children of the promise, and what about the word of promise? That is, they were the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are coming for the seed, for this is the word of promise, that this son will I come and Sarah shall have a son.
That is correct. Time out for Texas.
Time.
All right, we're ready for question 14. Question 14 is worth 20 points. Question, what is said about the invisible things?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What is said about the invisible things is found in Romans chapter 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Time.
That is correct. We have a contest by Western.
Tied.
This contest is withdrawn. Now question 15 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question, quote the verse that mentions Cordis.
Red, 1.
Gaius, my house, and of the whole church, stood with you. Erastus, the chamberlain of the city, stood with you, and Quartus, a brother.
That is correct. Question 16 is worth 20 points. Question, Paul bore record that.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
That they have what is found in Romans chapter 2 verse 2? That they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Bishop.
Tied.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be read for Western without interruption. Question, Paul bore record that what, according to Romans chapter 10, verse 2?
Red, 3.
That they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
That is correct. Contest by Texas, then you'll have your choice, ma'am. Contest Texas, 60 seconds to confirm.
Tied.
This contest is denied. And then, did you want your timeout? Okay, very good. Western, 1 timeout.
Tied.
All right, time in for question 17. Question 17 is the 2-part question worth 20 points. Question, salute one another how and who salute you, as found in verse 16 of Romans chapter 16.
Yellow, 1.
With a holy kiss, the churches of Christ.
That is correct. Question 18 is a cross-reference 3-part question worth 30 points. Question, which verses of Romans chapter 14 contain the phrase anything? Which verse of Romans chapter 13 contains the phrase anything? And which verse of Romans chapter 8 contains the phrase anything?
Red, 3.
In Romans chapter 14, verse 21. In Romans chapter 13, verse 8. In Romans chapter 8, verse 33.
Tied.
That is incorrect. Question 19 now is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question, business, quote the verses that contain this word.
Yellow, 3.
Not slothfulness in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, and that ye receive it in the Lord as becometh saints, and that ye assist in whatsoever business ye have need of you, Lord, chief and the secure of many of myself also.
Tied.
That is incorrect. And now question 20 is a 4-part question worth 30 points. Question, it hath pleased whom to make what for whom, as recorded in which verse of Romans chapter 15?
Yellow, 1.
Then of Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution for the poor saints which are at Jerusalem. Verse 26 of Romans 15.
That is correct. And this quiz is closed. Please give Western and Texas a hand together. All right, 2 more quizzes remain in this time block, and for the next one, I invite Illinois to come. Illinois 2 on the red, Illinois 1 on the yellow.
Did I do it again? Sorry.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there.
Sure.
I think it's a joke. You think of it as a joke, don't you?
Those several years that you thought I was mad at you all the time.
Yeah, I got over that. Thank you, Avery. Very kind of you. All right, gentlemen. And Shayla, of course.
You have all the information you need?
Didn't mean to overlook you, ma'am. Now that I've drawn attention to you, you can throw things at me, right? So sorry. All right, here we go. Congratulations to both fine teams, Illinois and Illinois. So 2-1. And this quiz is over. Question 1 is a two-part question worth 10 points question. As recorded in verse 12 of Romans chapter 13.
Red 2.
Interruption.
What is far spent and what is at hand? The night is far spent, the day is at hand.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Illinois 1 without interruption. Question. As recorded in verse 12 of Romans chapter 13, let us put on what and let us therefore cast off what?
Yellow 1.
Let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light.
That is correct. Question 2 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. As found in a verse of Romans chapter 6, you're not under what?
Red 2.
Interruption.
But under what? You're not under the law, but under grace.
That is correct. Question 3 is a two-part question worth 10 points. Question. What is in whom as recorded?
Red 2.
Interruption.
As recorded in Romans chapter 7, verse 23, the law of sin, my members.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Illinois 1 without interruption. Question. What is in whom as recorded in verse 39 of Romans chapter 8?
Yellow 1.
The love of God is in Christ Jesus our Lord.
That is correct. Question 4 is worth 10 points. Question. What righteousness is spoken of in verse 13?
Yellow 1.
Interruption.
Verse 13 of Romans chapter 4. The righteousness of faith.
That is correct. Question 5 is worth 10 points. Question. With what word does Romans chapter 15 conclude?
Red 1.
Amen.
That is correct. Question 6 is worth 10 points. Question. What question about sin is recorded in?
Red 2.
Interruption.
In Romans chapter 7, verse 7.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 10-point question will be reread for Illinois 1 without interruption. Question. What question about sin is recorded in verse 2 of Romans chapter 6?
Yellow 1.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
That is correct. Contest by Illinois 2.
Tie.
This contest is denied. And we're ready for question 7. It is a quotation completion question worth 10 points. Question
Red 1.
Interruption.
I, Tertius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the Lord.
That is correct. Question 8 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: the kingdom of God is not.
Yellow 3.
Interruption.
Is not what, but what is found in Romans 14, verse 17, is not meat and drink, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Holy Ghost.
That is correct. Question 9 is a 4-part question worth 20 points. Question: when and where shall who bruise?
Yellow 3.
Interruption.
Shall who bruise who? As found in Romans 16, verse 20. And the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. Shortly under your feet, the God of peace shall bruise Satan.
That is correct. Question 10 is worth 20 points. Question: our old man is crucified.
Red 1.
Interruption.
Our old man is crucified with him. Why? It's recorded in Romans chapter 6, verse 6. That the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. We're referring to Jesus.
Tie.
That is correct. Question 11 is a 2-part question worth 20 points. Question: Andronicus and Junia.
Red 1.
Interruption.
Or continue which verse of our study and what is said about them. 16 verse 7, salute Andronicus and Junia, my kinsmen and my fellow prisoners who are men among the apostles who also were in Christ before me.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 2-part question will be
Tie.
Illinois 1 without interruption. Question: Andronicus and Junia are described in how many ways according to verse 7 of Romans chapter 16, and what are they?
Yellow 3.
My kinsmen and my fellow prisoners, who also were of note among the apostles, who also were in Christ before me, therefore.
That is correct. Question 12 is a 3-part question worth 20 points. Question: how long is who bound to whom?
Red 1.
Interruption.
As recorded in Romans chapter 7 verse 2. So long as he liveth, the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband.
That is correct. Question 13 is worth 20 points. Question: what was the answer of God?
Red 1.
Interruption.
What was the answer of God to Elias, as recorded in Romans chapter 11 verse 4? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
That is correct. Question 14 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, if we do what, then...
Yellow, 3.
Interruption.
If we do what? We believe what is found in Romans 6 verse 8. If we be dead with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him.
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be reread for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question, if we do what, then we do what, according to Romans chapter 8, verse 25.
Red, 1.
But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it?
That is correct. Time out for Illinois 2.
Time.
No, we're good. All right, ready for question 15. Question 15 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, be not conformed.
Yellow, 3.
Interruption.
Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Why is found in which verse of Romans chapter 12, verse 2, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God?
That is incorrect. This interrupted two-part question will be read for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question, be not conformed to this world, but be ye what? Why, as found in verse 2 of Romans chapter 12.
Red, 2.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
That is correct. Question 16 is a cross-reference quotation question worth 20 points. Question, in one chapter of Romans, one verse ends with the words, shall be saved, and another ends with the...
Red, 1.
Interruption.
And another ends with the phrase, shalt be saved. Quote these verses. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
That is correct. Time out for Illinois 2.
I had, embarrassingly, I had switched to the next quiz. So is that okay to double duty? Thank you. I know you can multitask.
Tie.
All right, time in for question 17. Question 17 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question in.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Indignation is contained in a single verse of study. Quote this verse. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, who obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be read for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question. In the answer to a question, only one verse uses the word salvation. Quote this verse.
Tie.
Contest by Illinois 1.
Tie.
This contest is denied after conference. And now we're ready for question 18, which is a two-part question worth 30 points. Question. Locate the verses of Romans chapter 8 that contain the phrase all things.
Yellow, 3.
Interruption. Tie.
Sorry, we'll go ahead and replace that. My apologies for not catching that. This is the replacement question 18. It is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question. One verse contains the words, their own bodies, and another verse contains the words, his own body.
Yellow, 3.
Interruption.
His own body. Quote these verses. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Time.
That is incorrect. This interrupted cross-reference quotation question will be reread for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question. One verse contains the words, their own bodies, and another verse contains the words, his own body. Quote these verses.
Time.
Question 19 is a cross-reference four-part question worth 30 points. Question. Which verse of Romans chapter 4 says he might become what? And which verse of Romans chapter 7 says sin by the commandment?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
Sin by the commandment might become what? 4 verse 11. Become the father of all that believe. Though they be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed to them also. That sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. 7 verse 13.
Time.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted cross-reference four-part question will be reread for Illinois 1 without interruption. Question. Which verse of Romans chapter 4 says he might become what? And which verse of Romans chapter 7 says sin by the commandment might become what?
Yellow, 1.
Romans chapter 4 verse 18. He might become the father of many nations. Romans chapter 7 verse 13. Might become exceeding sinful.
That is correct.
Test.
Test by Illinois 2. All right, the contest is withdrawn. And we're ready for the 20th question. Question 20 is excuse me just a moment, 5-part question worth 30 points question. Who believeth what and who eateth what?
Red, 1.
Interruption.
It is recorded in which verse of our study? For one believeth that he made all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. 14 verse 2.
That is correct. Contest by Illinois 1.
Man.
Tied.
This contest is withdrawn.
Okay. And that closes the quiz.
All right, Sherman, that's your 8th correct question. And this quiz is closed. Let's give Illinois 2 and Illinois 1 hand together as well. And we'll get the exact totals, but I'm informed by my scorekeeper that Illinois 2 has won that. So they'll go over to the yellow, and Western 1 will come to the red for our final game of round 1. We'll have the results and ribbons in just a moment from this last quiz, but Western 1, you'll be on the red, Illinois 2 on the yellow.
Might as well switch around.
Don't hold that against me. I had to say that.
Oh no, I deferred to my judges. What it was, the word was capitalized.
I know, that's what I figured.
I'm trying to
On the page. That's what I figured.
in that. The actual word was in there, but we were
All right, the results of this last quiz, we have a gold medal ceremony. 85 points for Illinois 1. The winner, Illinois 2 with 160 points. So again, they move into the finals. They'll be on the yellow, Western on the red. They can be setting up. And second high scorer was Grayson with 60 points. Grayson. And the high scorer, we have 8 correct, wins the gold medal at 135 points. Sherwin. Let's go Sherwin. on if anyone off the premises wishes to watch, or outside the room, I guess. And then secondly, this will be our final game, of course, ending round one. And then don't forget the continuation of Sister Walker's devotion at 2 o'clock in the main session. That was absolutely fantastic yesterday, and today will be no different. Vital principle that we want to carry on through the generations in Bible quizzing. So please be sure to have that there. And then round two will resume in the respective split sessions after the devotion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have all the names. All right. Western 1, congratulations, and Illinois 2, the same. And this will be our final game of round 1 intermediate division. This quiz is open. Question 1 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: we preach what according?
Yellow 2.
Interruption.
As recorded in which verse of Romans chapter 10? The word of faith, 10 verse 8. The word of faith which we preach.
That is correct. Question 2 is worth 10 points. Question: what image is mentioned?
Red 3.
Interruption.
What image is mentioned? In Romans chapter 11, verse 4, the image of Baal.
That is correct. Question 3 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: if our gift is prophecy.
Yellow 2.
Interruption.
Let us do what? According to what? As recorded in Romans chapter 12 verse 6. Let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith.
That is correct. Question 4 is a quotation question worth 10 points. Question: quote the verse of Romans chapter 15 which concludes with the word amen.
Yellow 1.
Now the God of peace be with you all. Amen.
That is correct. Question 5 is worth 10 points. Question: ye have your fruit.
Red 1.
Interruption.
And we fruit unto what? As according in Romans chapter 6, verse 22, holiness and the everlasting life.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 10-point question will be reread for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question: ye have your fruit unto holiness and the end everlasting life. Under what condition according to Romans chapter 6 verse 22?
Yellow 2.
But now being made free from sin and become servants to God.
That is correct. Question 6 is a 2-part question worth 10 points. Question: destroy not whom?
Yellow 2.
Interruption.
Destroy on whom with what? As recorded in Romans chapter 14 verse 15. Destroy on him for whom Christ died. With thy meat. Destroy on him with thy meat for whom Christ died.
Tie.
That is incorrect, and this interrupted 2-part question will be read for Western without interruption. Question: Destroy not whom with what, as found in verse 15 of Romans chapter 14. This contest is withdrawn. And now we're ready for question 7. Question 7 is worth 10 points. Question: the law was what according...
Red, 1.
Interruption.
According to Romans chapter
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 10-point question will be read for Illinois without interruption. Question: the law was what according to verse 3 of Romans chapter 8?
Yellow, 2.
Weak to the flesh.
That is correct. Question 8 is worth 10 points. Question: in our verses of study, what is described as earnest?
Red, 2.
Earnest expectation of the future.
That is correct. Question 9 is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question: next.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Quote the verse of study which contains this body part.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted quotation question will be read for Western without interruption. Question: next. Quote the verse that records this word.
Red, 2.
Who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles.
That is correct. Question 10 is a 3-part question worth 20 points. Question: under what condition do how many things happen?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption. Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 3-part question will be read for Western without interruption. Question: under what condition do how many things happen, and what are they, as recorded in verse 14 of Romans chapter 4?
Red, 3.
If they which are of the law be heirs, faith is made void, and the promise made of none effect, and there are 2.
That is correct. Question 11 is a cross-reference 2-part question worth 20 points. Question: as found in verse 27 of Romans chapter 1, what is said about...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What is said about the men? It is found in the preceding verse. What is said about the women? And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burning the lust one toward another, men who been working doubters unseemly, receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which is made for this cause. God gave room for vile affections, creating the women to change their natural use into that which is against nature.
That is correct.
Contest, please.
Contest by Western.
Tied.
All right, this contest is denied. Now we're ready for question 12. Question 12 is worth 20 points. Question: what is said about the unrighteous?
Red, 3.
The unrighteousness of men in Romans chapter 1 verse 18, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be read for Illinois 2 without interruption. Question: what is said about the unrighteous in verse 13 of Romans chapter 3?
Yellow, 2.
Their throat was an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of asps is under their lips.
That is correct.
Contest.
Contest by Western. Yeah.
Tie.
This contest is granted, and on its basis, the 12th question will be voided and replaced. So give me a quick moment to find that with my judges here. This is replacement question 12. It is worth 20 points. Question: what is said concerning another man's...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What is said about the other man's esteem was recorded in Romans chapter 14, verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted 20-point question will be read for Western without interruption. Question: what is said concerning another man's servant in verse 4, Romans chapter 14?
Red, 1.
Whoever that judges another man's servant to his own master, he sinneth and falleth, yea, he shall be holden up, for God is able to make him stand.
That is correct. Contest by Illinois.
Withdrawn and timeout, please.
Contestants withdrawn, and now timeout, Illinois 2. Did it again?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think when you come back, you're just getting in and it just kind of pushes the table.
Oh,
Go ahead and go.
again, not conscious. Oh well.
Tie.
Time in for question 13. Question 13 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, to what end did Christ do what?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
To what end did Christ do what? It is recorded in Romans chapter 14, verse 9. For to this end Christ both died and rose and revived, that he might be Lord both of the dead and living.
That is correct. Question 14 is a five-part question worth 20 points. Question, as found in which verse of study, except who had done what, we had been?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
We had been as what? And been made like unto what? Romans chapter 9, verse 29. Except the Lord Sabaoth had left us in seed, we had been as Sodom and been made like unto Gomorrah.
That is correct. Question 15 is worth 20 points. Question, in the verse of Romans chapter 8 that contains the word condemnation.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What is said about condemnation? There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh but after the Spirit.
That is correct. Time out for Western.
Tie.
Time in for question 16. It is a quotation question worth 20 points. Question, one verse of Romans chapter 11 contains the word altars.
Red, 2.
Interruption.
Altars, quote this verse. Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged all mine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
That is correct. Question 17 is a two-part question worth 20 points. Question, what was the answer of who?
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
What was the answer of whom? As recorded in Romans chapter 11, verse 4. I have observed for myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. God?
That is correct. Question 18 is a cross-reference question worth 30 points. Question, three verses of study twice contain the word evil.
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Locate these verses.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted cross-reference question will be reread for Western without interruption. Question. 3 verses of study twice contain the word evil. Locate these verses.
Tie.
Time out for Illinois 2.
Tie.
Time in for question 19. It is a cross-reference quotation question worth 30 points. Question. A verse of Romans chapter 7 contains the words do good, and a verse of Romans chapter 3 contains the words do...
Yellow, 1.
Interruption.
Do evil of these verses.
Tie.
That is incorrect. This interrupted cross-reference quotation question will be reread for Western without interruption. Question. A verse of Romans chapter 7 contains the words do good, and a verse of Romans chapter 3 contains the words do evil. Quote these verses.
Tie.
And question 20. Time out for Western.
Tie.
Time in for question 20. It is a quotation question worth 30 points. Question. Likewise, the Spirit.
Red, 3.
Interruption.
Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. Quote the 2 verses of study immediately following this one. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
That is correct.
Tie.
And this quiz is closed. Please give Western and Illinois a hand together. And we will get the ribbons and such in just a moment, but I'm informed that Western won as our undefeated team from round 1. Congratulations to them. Concord, California. This does conclude quizzing in this segment. We will have our devotion at 2 o'clock in the main session with Sister Walker. She'll continue what she started yesterday, and then we'll go into round 2 in the respective split sessions after the devotion per our schedule. All right, here are the official scores. 95 points for Illinois 2. The winner was Western 1, as noted, with 140 points. We had a tie for second highest score, each with 50 points, Sherwin and Victoria. And our high score was Allie with 60. Let's give all three a hand.